Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for coming today. I'm Bill Dubois, Chairman of the Governmental Affairs Committee of the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau. We're very glad you came this morning to the annual State of the City Address. I'd like to thank KXO Radio for carrying this live. I'm also told that it'll be available on podcast if you'll just check their website. Also, we wish to thank ImperialValleyLiving.com and IVNewsDay.com. If you're as interested in this stuff as I am, you'll be able to see video on those two websites of today's event. The Chamber wishes to thank our President's Circle member, Paradise Casinos, who is the exclusive sponsor of this morning's breakfast event. And we congratulate them on their opening of their new facility in Winter Haven coming up in just a couple of weeks. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the President of the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, Carol Buckley.
It's another beautiful day in El Centro. I want to thank Paradise Casinos on behalf of the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau for being our sponsor for this morning's event. I am the opening act, batting leadoff, batting cleanup. The headliner, Mayor Ben Solomon, will follow. You can move the microphones back up to your level, Ben. As president of the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau, I can tell you that we're facing a challenging year. But then when I look out over today's audience and I see the number of business people here, you already know that. The last 12 months have been difficult. The next 12 months, we don't know for sure. I will tell you that in 30 plus years of running a local business, it has been the most challenging year. We're not seeing too many indications of when a turnaround might occur. We are creating our own turnaround in Imperial Valley. And the El Centro Chamber of Commerce is taking the lead in that in our community. Your chamber, like all businesses, knows that it's not business as usual. The chamber has adjusted, modified, and changed the way we serve our members. As a chamber, we must stress the benefits of membership in an organization that provides a voice to 700 or so local businesses that are members. We provide that voice in Sacramento, in Washington, in El Centro, in the Imperial Valley. Membership numbers are down approximately 9% from a year ago. That's an indication of the tough business climate. Our financial condition at the Chamber is healthy. The budget will be a break-even budget for the coming year. We salute the Chamber Chief Executive Officer and a board of directors that has been planning for the changes. We have a solid reserve that assures we will remain solid in the years to come and still be able to provide the services that our members expect and deserve. The El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau knows the value of membership and tries to express that value every day to the members. We've merged our governmental affairs committees, the El Centro Chamber and the Brawley Chamber. This will significantly expand the capability of both organizations to provide a voice for businesses in Washington, Sacramento, and the Valley. It's also an acknowledgement that Imperial Valley must be presented as a unified entity. Issues that affect El Centro affect Calexico, Westmoreland, Brawley, every other city in our valley. As one community grows and prospers, we as a valley grow and prosper together. If we fail to cooperate with each other, we will not grow. In November, Imperial Valley voters overwhelmingly approved Measure D, 83.8% of voters said yes to safe streets and roads, benefiting all 7 cities and the county. El Centro Chamber of Commerce, on behalf of the Joint Chambers of Commerce, led the campaign to approve that 1/2 cent sales tax. Again, working with the Joint Chambers, a debate between Assembly candidates Gary Gendron and Manuel Perez was held at Imperial Valley College. It gave Imperial Valley voters the opportunity to hear both candidates address issues and answer questions. The Chamber interviewed both candidates. The El Centro Chamber of Commerce, in what I believe is a first time ever, endorsed Gary Gendron for the Assembly. Mr. Perez won the election. The Chamber has continued a dialogue with Mr. Perez and with his staff to keep them aware of the Chamber members' concerns on issues such as the state budget, or lack of, taxes, regulations, and items of interest to all of the Imperial Valley. We maintain an ongoing dialogue with State Senator Denise Moreno Duchesne and Congressman Bob Filner, presenting the Chamber's positions on issues in Sacramento and Washington. The El Centro Chamber of Commerce, as a partner in United Desert Gateway, worked with Imperial County Board of Supervisors Chairman Wally Limegruber and Congressman Bob Filner to secure funding to continue trash services in our dunes. The dunes that generate many millions of dollars in much-needed revenue for this, the most economically disadvantaged county in the state. El Centro Mayor Pro Tem Cheryl Villegas Walker and County Supervisors Jack Terrazas and Mike Kelly attend Chamber board meetings. They are not there as targets. We share information. We express our views. They let us know what is happening, and it is a dialogue that is most welcome. Something brand new that I wish I could take credit for, but it goes back several administrations in the Chamber, the Imperial Valley Young Professionals Organization, the YPO. It's been a program of the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau for less than a year. There are currently 70 members with a target of 100 members by the end of June. The YPO and the Chamber are building tomorrow's leaders. I look out and I see the gray hair among many of us, or the absence of. We're winding down our involvement. The YPO members are the people that are taking our places, and we welcome them. We encourage them. The YPO provides the movers, the shakers, the civic leaders, and the elected officials of today and tomorrow. Membership is open to anyone 21 plus. The organization meets on a regular basis, holding blenders in the evening, grinders, as in a coffee grinder, in the mornings, networking, exploring new ideas, and looking at the valley from a much less myopic view than most of us old-timers. I am excited to see these young men and women get ready to move the Imperial Valley forward into the next decade and beyond. By the way, the YPO will be hosting a Mardi Gras night event in conjunction with the Mardi Gras parade in downtown El Centro. It's after my bedtime, so I won't be there. Besides, I attended one of their blenders in the evening, and in about 40 years, it's the first time I'd ever been carded. They asked me to leave because I'm too old. Of course, the Chamber does sponsor monthly mixers. We hosted the recent Snowbird Pancake Breakfast. We will host the Military Appreciation Gala March 20th at NAF El Centro, an event where the community honors the military, and we raise funds to help with the sponsorship of the Blue Angels Air Show. In summation, the El Centro Chamber of Commerce and Visitors Bureau is a vital and very active part of our community. Many dedicated members make it so. we're working to be even more active in representing the business community and helping our Imperial Valley grow and prosper. Thank you.
At this time, it gives me great pleasure and a distinct honor to introduce the Mayor of the City of El Centro, Ben Solomon.
Good morning. If you see me doing like this a couple of times, I'm going to be talking about money. And whenever I talk about money, it makes me cry because I don't have enough of it. Carol, you're right. I want to thank each of you for being here today, showing your support for this city and the Chamber. I want to thank the Chamber for putting on this annual event. During my election some 3 years ago, I told voters that I would be part of a city council that solved problems. It is my pleasure to report not only are we solving problems, the City of El Centro is strong and getting stronger each and every day. I asked the elementary and the high school board, through their administrators, to meet once or twice a year with the city council so that we could talk about issues of mutual concern and work together on solutions. 3 days later, after making this statement, Dr. Buddy asked for a meeting. We decided to wait until after the new year. Yesterday, Councilmember Walker and I met with Dr. Buddy. We met to plan for a joint meeting between the Central Union High School District Board of Trustees and the El Centro City Council. That meeting will be either March the 17th or the 24th. Let us choose to raise our children in a city that values public education. Think about this. 30% of the population is youth, but they are 100% of the future. You see, as a council, we decided that there is more that unite us than divide us, and that is true today. We are united in our belief that every agenda item that comes before us does matter. We are united in our belief that any resident that speaks before us or writes us can make a difference. We are united in our belief that at the end of our council meeting, we understand that what we do as a council does make a difference. You see, we look to the future standing on the shoulders of those who came before us. When El Centro was incorporated on April the 16th, 1908, it faced enormous problems, like could this small town survive? Yet the men and women who came before us created a city where hard work was honored, the family values were embedded. You see, they created a city where dreams really could come true, and where every generation of El Centro residents build a better community than the one that was given to them. And now it is our turn. It is our turn to renew the promise of this community, and that is to leave it better than we found it. I'm asking you to help me build on El Centro's history of leaving it better than we found it. Let me take a moment and talk about where El Centro is and where I would like this council to take it over the next year. This council as a team is working hard to keep businesses in El Centro and foster more business growth that includes more than just retail jobs. As we continue to grow, and I will admit, things have slowed down a little bit, but we will begin to grow again. And we need to attract new businesses, but we also need to appreciate the businesses who already call El Centro home. As past president of the Small Business Development Center, I was glad when the city developed the Image Award program to recognize our local business leaders for their commitment to our city. I believe that the city manager is changing city government in the city of El Centro. He is seeking the most talented, the most energetic, and the most dedicated people that he can find. The city is recruiting people from all walks of life who know their stuff and who will truly reflect, represent, and enhance the best that our city has to offer. This council, as a team, has endorsed the city manager's pick for a finance director, a park and recreation director, a police chief, we are getting ready to hire another one, city clerk, a library director, a redevelopment director, and a human resource director. Now we have a young group of department heads, providing us with an organization that is stable because retirement is some years away. Having worked as a public servant for over 30 years, I know the feeling. I know that feeling safe and secure in your home is a major concern for the citizens of El Centro. I've heard this, and now I say it. I have full faith and confidence in the men and women of law enforcement in the city of El Centro. There are a few noble callings than the oath taken by our police officers to protect and defend the citizens of our city. More so today than ever before. The police department, whenever possible, are using assets forfeiture fundings to update computers and purchase special tactic vehicles, thereby eliminating general fund money. When I talk about the police department, I have to acknowledge the fire department for their devotion and commitment to service. We're building them a new fire station, and they just got a new fire engine. And since 2005, new home development contributes directly to the cost of the police and fire service, thus eliminating the impact to the rest of the community. Today, let me speak directly to the city residents for just a moment. An important element in improving the economy of El Centro is improving the quality of life in the city. Quality of life includes the image of the city as well as the service. 1, we have over $11.7 million set aside for street improvements over the next few years. I'm hoping that local people, either working for local companies or hired by outside companies, will do the work, keeping the money in the valley. Now that the holidays are over, you will see us back working on our streets in the city. The city cannot expect to be the only provider of recreation opportunities anymore. The business community can play a vital role in providing opportunities for the community. The bowling alley is a good example of the business community establishing a recreation center that was needed in the Imperial Valley. As I travel throughout this city, I have witnessed firsthand a renewed energy. People and organizations from every corner of El Centro offer their advice, their suggestions, and most important, asking what can they do to help El Centro become the city we dream of. You see, it was the residents who helped complete a number of special events celebrating 100 years as a city. The Taco Cook-Off, residents. The K-9 Pet Fair, residents. The seasonal tree lighting and street fair, the residents. The extremely popular Mardi Gras light parade and street fair, the residents. The music festival and the fireworks show, the residents. This council has worked very closely with the senior citizen community, and we would like to see that they have all the resources available to them to ensure that they have a good quality of life. The experts say that cities should be doing 5 things to better serve senior citizens. 1, housing options. 2, community involvement. 3, employment. 4, lifelong learning. And 5, support services. We already have in place a program that serves senior citizens' 5 needs. Can it be better? Yes. Are we working on it? Yes. Today, I stand before you as someone who has always been proud to be an El Centro resident. And I want you to know that grants are and will continue to play a big part of this city's funding future. When we talk about growth, the city manager said it best a few months ago in the Imperial Valley Press when he said, if you don't have the infrastructure, you can't support new business. And if you don't have new business, you don't have jobs. With the expansion of the water and wastewater treatment plant at a cost of $49.7 million, we will be able to support the infrastructure, businesses, and jobs. With the passing of Measure D in November, once again, thanks to the voters, the city, we hope, will continue to receive about $2.2 million. The use of grants and other resources has increased. Last year, millions of dollars in grants have been awarded to this city. We received an $800,000 grant to improve air quality. The City Council approved a grant for a sports complex for over $2.2 million. A grant for over $7 million was received to assist seniors and assisted living. Project SHAPE, our downtown study, was funded and completed through a grant. An additional grant was awarded from SCAG to study and recommend changes in the parking requirements for downtown. The fire department just received a $54,000 federal grant. My 6 goals for this year are: 1, use infrastructure project funding to create jobs and stimulate the economy in El Centro. 2, keep the city financially strong. We didn't get to this point by chance, but by spending our money wisely, and we will continue to do so. 3, we will do business different when it comes to working with the schools. 4, helping financially troubled homeowners avoid foreclosures. In 2009, there were 1,816 notice of default recorded in Imperial County. That represents a 210% increase from 2007. In 2009, that number expects to surpass 2,500 notice of defaults in Imperial County. If Imperial County is going to keep its homeowners in their homes, protect the tax base, help financial institutions lower their bad debts, we can't leave it to chance. We have to take action. And number 5, despite our current economic situation, I can't think of a better way to personally contribute to the local economy than by helping to provide meaningful summer job opportunities for deserving youth. This county will not make it through this economic crisis if we persist in seeing the crisis only through our own selfish eyes. We must recognize that our economy and indeed our prosperity is built on the connectedness of this county. What happens to one of us in the Imperial Valley happens to all of us in the Imperial Valley. In closing, I want to start a conversation. I want to start a conversation about out-of-the-box ideals and solutions. I want El Centro to be the city that dares to ask, what if? What if we truly put our children first and created a school system and an after-school program that was the envy of the state? What if we made room at the table for everyone and all were invited to be part of a conversation about the city and the valley's future? What if we stop trying to make a point and start trying to make a difference? What if we move forward together as a city, accepting the responsibility of improving our family, our congregation, our neighborhood, and our workplace? What if we put the dream of home ownership within reach of all El Centro residents because we provided more than just retail jobs? What if we made El Centro neighborhoods cleaner, greener, healthier? What if we combined our hospital and lowered costs? What if we pledged today as a city to live within our means, to watch your dollar, and to ensure that they are spent wisely, and to do everything we possibly can to ease your tax burden? If we can do this, then our generation will have done our part to preserve, protect, and enhance this special place we call El Centro. At this time, I would like to acknowledge members of the El Centro City Council: Mayor Pro Tem Cheryl Walker, Council Member Sadaya Sanders, Ephraim Silva, and John Edney. I would like to introduce you to the real power behind the Solomon family, my wife, Nettie. I would also like to acknowledge Mr. Mark Schaffner for helping me put this speech together. In closing, I just want to say this: thank you, and may God continue to bless the city of El Centro.
Thank you, Mayor Solomon. I see we have a couple of minutes left for a question or two, if there are any from the audience. Thank you. Seeing none, once again, on behalf of the Chamber President, Carol Buckley, and our CEO, Kathy Kinnerson, thank you all very much for attending this morning's State of the City address. Thank you.